it's Melissa Kathryn, and I am so excited to be with you for another Done with Dieting Live. So we meet here each week at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central to help give you tips, coaching, guidance, and everything that you really need to be done with dieting so you can stop dieting and start living to truly thrive in life in a body that you love. So today we're talking about a topic that I'm so excited about and adamant about in helping to help women break free from the dieter's mindset. And it's really how to stop obsessing over food so you can start to lose weight easily and effortlessly without dieting and deprivation. So I'm really excited. When you come, please announce who you are. Okay, so when you come, please announce who you are. Say, why you're here, what you're excited about. I'm just going to move this around, and what brought you to today's Done with Dieting Live. So again, all right. I just want to make sure. All right, awesome. Okay, we're trying something new today, so I just want to make sure that I've got you. Nikki, what is up, girl? It's so good to see you. So again, today is Done with Dieting Live. This is the place to be to help you to truly be done with dieting so you can thrive in life in a body that you love. And each week, I'm helping you by giving you tips and guidance and the support that you need to truly thrive in life in a body that you love. And today we're talking about how to stop obsessing over food to really lose weight without trying. It sounds a little bit too simple. So when you come, again, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know who's on. Hearts, thumbs up, and let me know what brought you here. So a few things that I want to do is I am Melissa Kathryn. For those of you that are new to me, I'm a holistic nutritionist. I am an ex-fitness competitor and fitness trainer. I also am a hypnotherapist and body intuitive, and I specialize in emotional eating and disordered eating, and really am fascinated by the psychology behind why we eat and why we sabotage ourselves and say that we want something so much, but we actually end up not doing it, right? I know what to do, but I'm just not doing it. So there's so much that goes on here, and I'm really, really committed to helping women to get the bodies that they want, which helps them to create the lives that they want without the struggle and without making themselves wrong and without body shame and food guilt and all the crap that comes along with being a dieter. And so I just want to dive right in today. So mainly what I really want you to get is food isn't the problem. There's such a strong focus on food when we want to lose weight. Well, did you ever notice that the more that you focus on food, the more you end up eating? Right? The more you eat, it's really that dieter's mindset. You have that one meal and then you are thinking about, well, what do I get to eat next? And was I within the confines of what I allowed myself or told myself that I could eat today? When we are so focused on what we're putting into our bodies, not only does it detract from our joy and the spontaneity of life, but it actually makes and creates so much of the dieting struggle, right? So your focus on food is not only causing you to eat more, but you end up creating an emotional relationship with food. You start looking at food as good and bad instead of food just being a substance. Food is fuel, right? You can enjoy it, you can take it or leave it. But when we start placing such an emphasis, then what we put into our bodies, it ends up having an emotional impact on us. So what I really want to say with that is when we want to get out of dieting and we want to start experiencing losing weight with ease, the last thing we want to do is be hyper focused on everything we put into our bodies in such a regimented way. Because you've heard me say this a million times, where we restrict, we will rebel. And when we rebel, that's the sabotage. And that's because there's been so much restriction and deprivation that there's too much rigidity and so much routine that we're sitting there, we're just depleted and we're going, where is the joy? Where is the fun? Where is the pleasure? When and how is it possible for me to lose weight and enjoy the process, which, you know, my clients know is possible. But for those of you, you know, that haven't experienced that yet, it's one of those things that seems counterintuitive, because when you've been dieting for a long time, none of it's really fun. So again, what we're talking about today is that food isn't the problem. We want to stop focusing so much on food so we can actually lose weight easily without struggling, and truly being done with dieting, and not only losing the weight, but the goal is to keep it off, right? Like, we just want to do this once and do it right, and not sit here year after year struggling with the same thing, constantly having, I want to lose weight on your goal list, right? And we're just out from those New Year's resolutions. Let's make 2018 the year to make it happen, okay? So number one, focusing on food causes an emotional attachment. The more we focus on food, the more we want to eat. The less we're actually connected to our body's hunger. The less we're actually eating from a space of honoring ourselves. So I was with one of my friends today, and she just said to me, "Oh, you know, what did you eat for breakfast?" And I said, "I actually didn't eat breakfast today. I'm not hungry yet." And she was just like, "Oh, do you not normally eat breakfast?" And I said, "You know, I'm really listening to my body. Some days when I'm hungry, I do, but I really check in, what is my body telling me?" And oftentimes you know, if I'm for instance, if I'm doing weight training and I'm training my legs, I will be hungry that day voraciously, definitely the next day. And I know that because it's our body part with the largest amount of muscle mass. And, you know, my metabolism, I lift really heavy, and I know that it spikes. So I want to fuel that, right? I'm not sitting there judging when I'm feeling hungry and, oh my God, no, I need to wait this much time and do this and do that. I'm listening to what my body's asking for. And I'm honoring that. And I not only that, but the food isn't making me feel wrong. I don't fear that the food is actually going to take me further from my goal, which is something that I see so often with women when they come from dieting. It's, you know, they eat something and it's almost like immediate food guilt. I can't believe I just did that. I even over healthy food. And I know because I used to have orthorexia nervosa, which is, I was, you know, a fitness competitor, and I was known as, you know, I was known for my body. And, you know, it became that even if I ate healthy food, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I had too much of this, or that was too much fruit. Oh my God. Oh no, all the carbs. You know, it's once you get to the other side and you remove the emotional attachment, you start really seeing, how am I fueling my body, why and when, from a place of love and adoration for you, as opposed to something else. So just to recap here, in order to lose weight with ease and not struggle, we want to take the focus off of food. Number one reason being that the more we focus on food, the more we want to eat, right? And we start to create and foster this emotional attachment to food, right? And really looking at food, it becomes more than just a substance. It actually we create a human connection where it can make us feel good and bad, right? And then we tie that to our own self-worth. So step two of that is when food starts making you feel wrong, right? So going into that food guilt and how that food guilt leads to overeating. Have you ever noticed once you overeat, or once you tell yourself that you've eaten something bad, right? All of a sudden you sit there and you just want to keep eating. And then you want to, like, I call it calling out fat, like where you actually sit there and you're like, I'm going to cancel my evening plans. I just feel so bad about myself. I did that so much when I was dieting, where I would actually cancel plans or cancel dates because all of a sudden I felt overly full, and then I'd beat myself up and feel bad, and then I'd end up just eating more, right? It was actually the opposite. So just really hear this, feeling bad makes you do bad things, right? Like when we feel bad, we don't do things that help us. We do things that hurt us, and we are doing it from a place of separation from ourselves, right? If you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm really, really spiritual, and that it's in that separation. I always say, you know, the path to feeling good never feels bad. Well, when you're talking to yourself in a negative way, when you're not being kind to yourself, you know, when you're doing things that are hurtful to yourself, right? That's not from a place of love. It's from separating from your highest self, right? So we want to bring you back into separation. And we do that by being kind, by being loving, by coming back to a place where you go, okay, how can I take something that occurred and see it as a beautiful lesson that can actually take me higher, right? So step 3 to this is, in the dieting world, we start to make, and I've said this, you know, and so just hear this, in that space, we start making food wrong and our body's the enemy, which is so not right, right? So how can we love what we eat and adore our bodies into the shape that we want? I'm going to say that again. So in the dieting world, we make food wrong and our body's the enemy, which is the opposite of what we really want to achieve, right? So how can we love what we eat and adore our bodies into the shape of what we want to see and experience, right? So we want to start by choosing foods that love you back. And not just, you know, so if you're sitting there and you're like, greens, kale, this, that, it's not just what we call like healthy foods, but it's foods that you love. And it's bringing yourself into a space of loving foods that feel good for you because of the fact that they feel good, and learning how to be excited by foods that feel good for you and how to make them taste good. A part of being healthy and making this a lifestyle is not being on a 90-day, you know, quick fix. Let's see how quickly I can transform my body. You know, as I said, as an ex-fitness competitor, you know, transforming my body didn't all of a sudden make me happy and have all these healthy habits. It was the small steps that I took that got me there. It was the fact that I loved feeling good. It was the fact that I thrived off of feeling strong, right? That I loved being connected to myself and to how it felt in my body to do things that felt good for my body, right? There's so much power and magic in that process. And that's the journey that you want to experience, not the, okay, you know, I'm going to eat grilled chicken and broccoli and I'm going to do this massive, you know, HIIT training every day, even though I hate it. I could do anything for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. What about after 90 days? What about when your mind's like, are we done yet? And you just go right back. You got the weight off and you're right back to where you started. This is about shifting what matters most, which is going to give you the lasting weight loss that you really want. You want to be done with all this crap. That's what I'm all about. So start choosing foods that love you back, but love the ones that you choose, okay? So another piece to this is when we remove dieting, right, which is all that I keep talking about. I'm the girl that, you know, I'm done with dieting. Look me up. That's what I'm about. So when we remove dieting, we start listening to our bodies. And that's what I was sharing with you about how my friend Julie asked me earlier, you know, what did you eat for breakfast? And I said, you know, recently my eating patterns have shifted and I'm just listening to them. And as somebody, again, that was, you know, a competitor and dieted forever, I've had to do a lot of reprogramming. I've had to take out, you need to eat, you know, 3 square meals, or you need to eat mini meals all throughout your day, or no carbs at this time, or make sure you're done by this hour, all of this stuff. And I've started to really, I had to remove it all and get, what makes my body feel really good? And to know that as a female, it changes based off of my hormones, based off of my activity level, based off of my age and other things that are going on for me. And it's not trying to still, you know, stick a round peg in a square box and sit there and go, okay. So that's something that I really, really, really want to share. And it's super important. As I was just saying that, my friend was calling through. So, and it's when we are trying to fit ourselves into one like model of a diet, our bodies, there's not one diet that can fit every body. So you have to find what works for you. And again, it's an investigative process and it's awesome. It's awesome. So The next piece to this is focusing on your mindset. Guys, when it comes to this obsession around food, and we constantly are nitpicking, what did I eat? What didn't I eat? Food guilt, shame, all of this stuff. And I should have done that. And especially if you're following me, then you come from that perfectionist background as a recovering perfectionist, right? Where you're constantly monitoring yourself and it's never enough. And unless it's at 1000% and it's perfect, then in some way you're upset with yourself. So in order to really be done with dieting and to lose weight and have fun in the process, what we want to put our focus on is our mindset, right? It's your mindset. It doesn't matter how much dieting or if you ate all of these greens, you're still going to gain the weight back and struggle if you don't shift the way you experience yourself, right? And your life and this process. You're not going to get away from your body. It's your body for life. Love it. Start loving it now. And the biggest thing that I work so heavily on mindset retraining, and my clients know you want to affirm what's possible, and that this journey to your ideal body and to effortless weight loss is fun and easy. I want to say that again. You have to affirm what's possible. This isn't, and so I'm going to use an example of one of my clients. She's amazing, and she just sent me a message today, and she was just like, you know, Melissa, I finally get what you're talking about with affirmations. And she's been with me about 6 weeks now. And she was like, you know, we've talked about affirmations, we've talked about mirror work, we've talked about these different things. And, you know, and I've said to her, I need you to fake it until you make it. The affirmations, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a dream and reality. Paint the picture that you want to experience and start fueling your mind at optimal times, i.e. upon waking and before going to bed, to shift your mindset and experience of the way that you view your body, this process, and what it is you want to create. Feed it the images of what you want to create. Feed it the words. Your words are your wand, right? As Florence Levelshin says, your words are your wand. They are powerful and they have a huge impact. So the more that you can do that, the better. And it's so important that you follow that process. So I just want to go through these steps with you again. So when we're talking about this, focusing on food, right? So what we're talking about here is removing obsessing about what we put into our mouths when we want to lose weight and keep it off for good. And this is what you want to focus on instead. All right, so I'm giving you the recap, so stay with me for the cliff notes of today's Done with Dieting Live. 1, right? The more that you focus on food, the more you eat, okay? The more you foster an emotional connection with food where it determines your self-worth. How do we remove ourselves from that? By starting to choose foods that love you back and loving on the ones that you choose. By creating healthy recipes, right? Or finding ones that you love. I'm all about quick, simple, and tasty. People are always like, I don't know what you're eating, but can I taste it? It looks weird. And I'm like, it might not have the best presentation because I'm all about quick and easy. I'm not looking at properly plating my food. Except for my recipe book. But like, other than that, on the day-to-day, I'm like, I don't care if it's brown or whatever, how's it taste? And my clients, my family, like, they're all like, okay, that looks weird and it tastes so good. And I'm like, you like my food, don't you? Right? Because you've got to have fun with what you're doing. If it's not fun, why the hell are we doing it anyway? And if you're not enjoying the process to getting your ideal body, there is no way in hell you're going to lose the weight and stay there. You just won't. You will inevitably put it back on because you haven't shifted your relationship to this process, to weight loss, to your body, and to food. And until then you're just putting a Band-Aid over it, i.e. a diet, and going in a yo-yo, right? Like you're yo-yoing up and down. And that seesaw is exhausting. It's exhausting, and it will do a number on your psyche, and years can go by of you struggling with the exact same thing that ends up impacting your self-worth and your level of what you believe you deserve. And we want to take the focus off of food, take the focus off of dieting so you can actually stop dieting to start living, to be happier and more joyous in this process and in life, right? We want to have fun in life. So step 2 to this is we want to remove the dieting, right? So you can actually start to listen to your body and get to be in this beautiful, intimate partnership. It's like, that's when this is a part in my Weight Loss for Life program where it's really falling in love with you, right? It's being in a full partnership and investigative process with what does your body need to thrive, right? What does your body need to thrive? What does it need to have energy? How can you wake up each day feeling excited and happy and light and energized? What are the lifestyle practices and what are the foods that foster that feeling? When you feel that good, I don't care who you are. You don't want it to end, right? I was talking about this with another friend of mine today. We were talking about wine, and I was just like, I used to love me some wine. I'm Italian. I tell people I'm Italian, like somehow that's supposed to give me a pass for loving wine. It's like, who doesn't love wine? But I also started to say that, you know, wine now for my body, it's like too much sugar. It's just, I don't feel good. After one glass, you know, that second glass, then it wakes me up at night. I feel groggy the next day. I really notice an impact on my mood. And I was just sharing with my friend Tessa today. I was like, it's not worth it to me. Me feeling good, me having a clear mind, me waking up energized is priceless to me, right? And as much as I still enjoy a good Brunello, don't get me wrong, but it's not worth. It's not worth me feeling good. And those are choices, but I make them from an empowered place. It's not, oh, I can't drink wine anymore, this or that, or I can't have that food, which happens when we've dieted. We start to have our little girl gets pouty. She goes into victim mode and is like, well, why can't I have that? And she can, and she's this size and doesn't gain weight, but the minute I eat it, or why can't I drink this anymore? And instead though, my choice to not drink wine as much is from an empowered, like, I don't want that for me because I want to do what feels best for me. And that feels good, right? So the other piece to this, again, in our Cliff's Notes version of today's Done with Dieting Live, is in the dieting. So we want to remove the guilt. We want to remove the shame, right? So we do that by really putting our focus on how good it feels to feel good, right? And I was also saying that in a dieting world, we start to make food wrong and our body's the enemy, which is so not what we want, right? So how can we love what we eat and adore our bodies into the shape that we want, right? So when we remove dieting, we start really listening to our bodies, right? Which is incredible. How much fun is that? And when we start listening to our bodies, it naturally tells us how to lose weight. It's naturally sending you all the messages. It will say, you will know because you'll eat something and all of a sudden you're gassy or you're burping or you feel lethargic or tired. Well, lethargic and tired are the same thing. Or you have indigestion. Like, those are all signals from your body saying, stay away from that food, stop eating it, right? And I hear this, and I have women in my programs that will go, well, I mean, that food, yeah, I have dairy, and then I get so bloated, but the idea of giving up cheese, and I'm like, let me get this straight. You've been saying and struggling with your weight for like 20 years, and you still eat something that your body's outwardly rejecting that makes you feel sick. And that's the primary signal that you need that's probably going to help you get off that weight you've been struggling with. Our bodies are so smart, and they want us to be at our ideal weight and optimal health. They don't have to work as hard. They don't want to carry around extra weight, right? So start talking to your body. What's it telling you? Partner, partner, partner. Our bodies are our best friends, right? They just want us to look and feel incredible. So do we. So we can't feed it things that feel awful for it and expect to have the results that we want, right? So stop trying to bully your body into the body that you want and start listening to your body and partnering with it so you can get the love back. You know, you got to give. And then the other piece here is really focusing on your mindset. And that's really the number one piece, right? So what are you doing to fuel your mind? Instead of just forcing it to do your body to do these workouts that you might not love, what would work, right? Really affirming it. Affirm what's possible, and that weight loss is fun and easy. These are the things that you really want to be doing, okay? So retraining your mind, again, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a dream and reality. So you want to fuel it with the most magnificent story of what your body looks like and feels like and what the story was to get it there. And start living into that each day. And the optimal times to do this, again, are first thing in the morning and right before you go to bed. That's when your mind is most malleable. That's when you can give it the impressions and really give it the subconscious repatterning that you really want to do. You want to share with yourself what it is that you really want to experience and feel. And the more that you will do that, the more you will not only feel it, but start to see it on the outside. Because what happens is all of those words, all of those affirmations, all of those visualizations, everything that you share with your mind, it feels, and it will start to feel it and see it. And once you start to feel it and visualize it, joy comes from this vision. So not only do you actually feel better energetically, but the mind starts thinking, oh, we're losing weight, we're feeling good. What does it do? It triggers, you're not as hungry. You don't want to do things that don't serve you. You don't want to sabotage yourself because you're happy and because you see what's possible. And it's the fear that we're going to fail that blocks us. So I hope that you enjoyed today's Done with Dieting Live. I so love being with you, and I have an incredible gift for you. So if you're really wanting help with this, because I know how challenging this can be, I've been there. You know, I've now helped thousands of women around the world to be done with dieting and to achieve lasting weight loss without struggling, to truly thrive in life in a body that they love. And it's through stopping dieting that they really started living the lives that they had honestly been hiding from, and the weight helped them hide, right? I don't care if you've got 5 pounds to lose or 100 pounds to lose. So I have an amazing opportunity for you. This does not come along often, so take me up on it. It's a rare opportunity to actually speak with me, not somebody from my team, to me directly. I only have a few spots, and this is something that I'm doing because it is February and this is the month of love. So I want to give some love back to my community, and I want to do that. Giving back is it just lights me up to no end, and getting to meet you and help you is what brings me immense joy. So what I really want to say to you is, if this is something that you want, there is going to be a link that you can receive right now, and go on over and hurry up because I only have a few spots. So please, please take me up on this. It is a 30-minute call. I don't mess around. There is a questionnaire to help us really nail down what's going on for you. And one of my superpowers is being able to get to the root mainly within basically a few minutes of what's really been blocking you, and then helping you to remove those blocks and put you in the right action steps to move forward to actually achieve the weight loss that you desire. Because if you're not taking action, you can have all the awareness in the world and still struggle and sabotage yourself. So let's remove the struggle, remove the sabotaging, and actually get a clear understanding of why are you sabotaging yourself? What is getting in the way? And what are the steps that can help you to achieve lasting weight loss without struggling, right? And how can we truly take the constant focus off of obsessing over your food and then making yourself wrong? So there's a few steps to this process that we're going to do. When we get on the call, I'll take you through the process, but we really, really dial in and go through a series of questions. And you will leave the call not only understanding what's been blocking you, but with clear action steps. And truly, honestly, anybody can attest to this. We have a whole list of testimonials just from women from the 30-minute call, and how much how powerful it was for them and what a difference it made for them. And then we always ask, would you recommend this to somebody else? And they're all like, absolutely. I got more from that call with you than I have with different weight loss programs and coaches in entire, you know, anywhere from 4-week programs up until year-long programs. So that is my gift to you. I hope that you'll take me up on this opportunity. I've honestly never offered this ever on the live. So if this is something that you want, by all means, please go over and be committed to the call. Come with your questions, come ready, and we're gonna make it happen, and I'm here to support you. So thank you so much for being here. Next week on Done with Dieting Live, we had to move my celebrity guest. She's going to be with us. She unfortunately had somebody in her family passed away suddenly. So we had to obviously put her call next week. So we're going to be talking love and weight loss around that Valentine's Day. It's going to be perfect. So come and really not only, but actually just stay tuned. Make sure you're on my email list and you'll get all the details. So thank you so much for being here. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I will see you next week on Done with Dieting Live, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central for Done with Dieting Live with me, your host, Melissa Kathryn. And I will see you then if I don't talk to you sooner. Bye. All right, ladies, do I have any questions before I go? Oh my God, there's so much love here. You are amazing. And I just want to ask, are there any questions? If there are any questions, totally agree. Debbie, you got it, girl. Casey, I love you. Cynthia, my problem is completely my mind, so I wish I could change my mindset for good. Cynthia, if that's you, grab a call with me, and girl, I got your back. Yes, the perfectionist, Nikki. Yeah, girl, I get you. I love you all. We should be starting soon. I'm excited. Kathy, I can't wait. Wait, Kathy, what are we starting? I want to know, girl. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next week for Done with Dieting Live.